Hey, it's Dan Morales, and this is Homebuyer Radio. This is episode 114. Now, I feel like I've done this episode multiple times, right? And I don't know why I feel like I've done this multiple times, but I know I have. And it's having realistic expectations. I can't tell you guys how often this happens. Like every week, I have this conversation with clients multiple times, okay? And it's always something to the effect of this. We have a house that we own right now, and our current mortgage payment is $1,300. And, we owe like $125,000, and we sold our house for $200,000, and we've got like all of this money to put down, right? So we got, $70,000, $60,000, whatever it is, to put down on our next house. Okay, and our next house is going to be $350,000. Now, here's the catch. We don't want our monthly payment to be any higher than what we're paying right now. Okay, do you see a problem with that? Do you see a problem with your mortgage amount is like twice what it is currently, and you don't want your monthly payment to go any higher than what it is right now? Okay. Now, I like to think I'm a pretty good mortgage guy, right? I've done this for 28 years. I've done a lot of really hard loans, a lot of loans that other people can't get done. Okay. And I like to think I'm pretty creative at helping my clients to kind of achieve what they're after. But I have this conversation so many times over the course of a week, it kind of is a little frustrating, right? Because think about it, guys. Are you going to borrow twice what you owe and have the same monthly payment? Does that make any sense to you at all? It shouldn't. And if it does, that's like a different podcast I need to start, right? But let's just be honest here, right? Like, have realistic expectations. You're not going to get twice the house, borrow twice the money, and keep the same mortgage payment, okay? Just because you have $60,000 worth of equity or whatever dollar amount of equity it is, if the amount of money you're borrowing is 2 times what you currently owe, even though there's going to be some disparity in interest rates and stuff like that, you're not going to have like a, monthly payment that's equal to your current house, right? Because a bigger, more expensive house has, guess what? Bigger property taxes in most cases than what you currently have now. So have realistic expectations. You can not have them if you want to. That just means that you'll eventually get to somebody who knows what they're doing. It's going to help you get in check with what's really going to happen, right? So don't go into this process and think like you're going to do that, right? Like you're going to have borrow twice the money and have the same monthly payment. That's not going to happen. So, just have realistic expectations. Here's the other thing too, right? I have this conversation with clients a lot too. And it's something to the effect of, my rent payment right now is $900. I don't want to put any money down into the next house, but I want to spend $300,000 or $200,000, or it's some kind of price point where they expect to be able to buy a house with no money down and have a monthly payment that is equal to their rent or less. Now, if you have a really high rent, that could potentially happen, but in most cases, it could be difficult, right? So it's really important to have realistic expectations, right? The less money you put down, the higher your payment's going to be, okay? The more money you put down into a deal, the lower your monthly payment's going to be. So it's all relative, right? So often clients, let's face it, who doesn't want to have the nicest, best things and pay the absolute least for them, right? I know I do. I'm sure you do too. The problem is having realistic expectations to know that those things oftentimes aren't going to happen, especially when you're doubling the amount of mortgage you have, or if your rent's really low and you're trying to purchase a really nice higher end upscale home and do that with a monthly payment that is equivalent to your rent. Okay, there are times you can buy a house and have your rent payment or your mortgage payment be pretty darn close to your rent. That can happen, right? It just depends on a number of different factors, but most importantly, I just can't help but encourage you to have realistic expectations, right? Have realistic expectations expectations when you're out there looking at properties, right? Don't think that you're going to, buy a really expensive house for a really low price because usually that's not going to happen, right? So, again, I've talked in, the most recent couple weeks here, I've been talking about the importance of getting pre-approved before you start this mortgage process. I can't stress that enough, right? Because by getting pre-approved and understanding where you're at financially, you can make super wise decisions as you go through this process and have really good expectations on what to expect, okay? Hey, I'm Dan Morales. I go by Dan the Mortgage Man. You can find me online at danmorales.com. That's DANMORALEZ.com. My phone number is 616-931-4629. My NMLS number is 709729. Of course, North Point Bank is an equal housing lender. Now, if you are watching on Instagram TV or Facebook, YouTube, you name it, do me a favor. Leave us some feedback. Leave us some comments. And if you have questions, let us know what those questions are. I want to do another episode of just answering questions that I get from clients on a regular basis. I think you guys get hopefully a lot of value from that. And it just helps me to be able to put some stuff out there that is hopefully going to be beneficial to you. If you're in the market for a mortgage, we would love to help you, okay? I can lend in all 50 states. Now, granted, not all programs are available in all states, but we do have a lot of programs available in a lot of states. So we'd love to have the opportunity to help you if you're in the market to buy a house. Again, Dan Morales, 616-931-4629. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to hitting you up next week. Have a good one. Bye.